hate you!
Greetings, fellow mortals. Just a reminder saying it's just my opinion is for cowards. I do have to admit, as a show, Velma is a gift that keeps on giving. I haven't watched it, but the ending of season 2 was spoiled for me, and if you care about being spoiled yourself, I would stop watching right now. But if you don't care like me, somehow and for some reason, Scrappy-Doo killed Velma. Then she came back as a ghost to kill him back. Then the season ended with the whole audience actually loving Scrappy-Doo for once. If I were a meme lord or a conspiracy nut, I would say that this is Warner Brothers' way of redeeming a marketable character and getting people to give Scrappy a real chance. But this is Warner Brothers Discovery. They never make smart decisions. So it was probably just an accident that they made people reevaluate a long-held hatred for this character. Instead of dwelling on the Velma show and giving it attention that it does not deserve, I wanted to talk about an interesting topic for me personally. Why do people hate Scrappy-Doo to such a large scale? Well, I would be remiss to mention at the start that it's partially because it was popular to do so. It's the wave of the crowd, the bandwagon. I never hated Scrappy that much, but even as a kid, I could tell that Scrappy's inclusion in any story didn't really add anything to the tale at all. But I just kept quiet in elementary school when my friends seethed about him, even though I was more neutral. And it continued throughout the years with memes and internet culture pushing the phenomenon to another level.
It's 4 o'clock in the morning. Why on earth are you making chocolate pudding?
Because I've lost control of my life.
People had decided to hate Scrappy-Doo, so it was destined to happen. But there are legitimate reasons to hate Scrappy as well. There is a trend in many shows, mostly sitcoms, where the status quo is absolute and sacred to audiences, where the writers and showrunners add new characters to try to extend the show's lifespan. That 70s show, Saved by the Bell, Married with Children, Scrubs, even the Brady Bunch. Not to say that adding new characters never works, but it really depends on the reason behind the newcomers. Is the character necessary? Does the character add something? Is the character just there because executives demanded to try to regain or keep the popularity of a series? Is it a desperate attempt to make something go on well past its usual lifespan? That is usually the case, but there are good examples, of course. Chris and Ben from Parks and Rec, Andy from The Office. But those characters had purpose and personality, other than trying to appear, quote, cool and hip, unquote. Not my words. It's literally the Poochie concept from The Simpsons. And unless the character has real purpose in the story, it never works. The new edition is hated for a few simple reasons. People hate being told that they have to like someone. People enjoy the usual status quo. And people don't like having their friend groups disrupted by an outsider, especially an annoying younger cousin from a far away land.
Nice to meet you, Cartman. You know, I saw that same jacket you're wearing at Bosco's for $29.95. How much was yours? I'm just wondering if Bosco's is a ripoff. Oh, man.
Scrappy-Doo epitomizes everything wrong with prolonging a story past its usual lifespan. Every gripe people have about these types of characters all concentrated on Scrappy-Doo. Let's face it, every child in the modern world has heard, seen, and watched Scooby-Doo. There's always a new version coming out. Everyone's experienced it. It's a safe place, a comfort zone, and everyone's mind Mystery Inc. works best as the 4 main human characters and the dog. People push their old friend groups from childhood into their feelings about these characters, and the idea of an annoying new addition coming in and ruining their nostalgic memories creates a visceral, angry reaction. And it can all be explained by 2 simple words: puppy power. Pure hubris. A little tiny creature with an overinflated ego raises his hands and charges at a dangerous threat, with his uncle having to drag him out of the fire by force. Napoleon complex to the max. A chihuahua grating at our nerves. Someone trying to fight not out of some selfless sense to help other people, but because of pride. We have all had friends who thought they were hot stuff, unstoppable, but they were all talk and no action. And that's what Scrappy-Doo is. It was a corporate mandated disaster that was doomed from the start.
Destroy us all! Destroy us all! Destroy us all!
In all honesty, I get why people don't like Scrappy-Doo. I have softer feelings for him than most, but even I wasn't that fond of him. He was neutral to me. The reason for this is because that I was exposed to him through various movies, things like the Boo Brothers, the Ghoul School, and the Reluctant Werewolf. You get a brownie point if you remember or know any of these. In those straight to VHS films, another brownie point if you remember those, there was no mystery gang. It was Shaggy, Scooby, and Scrappy. I didn't see Scrappy interact with Fred, Daphne, or Velma until later. In those cases where it was only the three of them, Scrappy worked best because he was a foil to Shaggy and Scooby's cowardiceness. You see, none of the Mystery Inc. gang works well on their own. These are characters who were designed to need each other to work. Their personalities bounce off each other. It's a finely crafted microchip. If you separate the parts, they need something to compensate for those missing parts. Thus, Scrappy is more tolerable in these instances. But in the case where the entire gang is together, he's a piece of sand, causing the microchip to malfunction.
I vomited somewhere in this room. I don't remember where, though. Wait, you might want to check that drawer.
The saddest aspect of all of this and the hatred towards Scrappy is that this is an easy fix. Literally just take out the ego. No screaming puppy power as a catchphrase to try to get kids to buy merchandise. No trying to pick fights because he delusionally thinks that he can win. Make him the opposite of Scooby in a way that's not so annoying. Take some of the spice out, not all of it. Scrappy is gung-ho to face threats because of an overflowing amount of empathy. He's the first to suggest to help someone because he hates seeing people in pain. If someone's sad, he asks if puppy pets would make them feel better. He comforts others and gets mad at injustices. When he picks a fight, Scrappy doesn't scream puppy power. He shouts, "How dare you scare my Uncle Scooby?" And then when he's pulled away, Scrappy sighs and says, "I love you, Uncle Scooby." He can still be rambunctious and excitable, running around, super hyper, always wanting to play, maybe a bit distractible and needs things explained to him because, you know, he's young. He doesn't have to be perfect, just make him less annoying. Because here's the thing about kid characters. They can't actually be written like real children. They need to be idealized children who are secretly adults mentally, because even other children realize how annoying a child can be in fiction.
Walk out the door, you see someone that you know and they ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Scooby-Doo as a franchise has been lashing itself about Scrappy since at least 2002. The live-action movies seem to start the trend of them being self-aware about the hatred against Scrappy, and it's continued since then. And it kind of takes the fun away from disliking an annoying character. Like, hey, Warner Brothers, it's your character. You can fix him at any point. It is within your power. The self-aware aspect is fine, just do better now. You've been in on the joke for 20 years, Warner Brothers Discovery. Do better, please. Just make an animated movie with Scooby where Scrappy shows up and is less annoying. Wean people into accepting him. Hell, you can make shorts or cartoon strips or even memes which redeem Scrappy's image. And guess what? You would have the marketable character you always wanted. I swear to God, this is the problem I have with Warner Brothers. They're literally a step away from making great content. But then they just let terrible things like Velma come out, and that makes us reevaluate our entire belief system on things that we once thought were bad. Just think about that for a second. Velma is so bad that it made everyone think that they treated Scrappy-Doo too poorly. Yeah, that wasn't exactly on my 2024 bingo card. Soon Disney's gonna buy all of this and then we won't have any options, aren't we? It's so bad. Why can't we get good things? Why can't we have good things? Feels like the bar has been lowered so badly that it's underground. And for some reason, they're just digging to get under it, when all they could do is just step over it, give the bare minimum, and everyone would be happy. Well, this is the internet. No one's ever happy. But we'd be happier, that's something. You're welcome to disagree with me. That's fine. After all, everyone is entitled to their objectively wrong opinion.
Perhaps I treated you too harshly.
And hey, do you like stories about an interconnected world? Then consider giving my LPCO books a try. They are all connected in some way, but you can jump in at any point, unless it's a series. Then you have to start at the beginning. But I got 3 books out right now and 3 coming next year. You will not have to wait long for content. Either way, thank you. I appreciate you. Do not despair.